Taco Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Update time. It's been a while, but the reason why we took a little bit of time is we went down to NS Expo down in Atlanta this year, and we took the river car. We were supposed to take the fire car with us. We ended up not doing that because the truck didn't arrive. We won't talk about that. But the plan was to go down there, show the car off a little bit, and then drop it off at the place where it was supposed to be cut apart and fixed. Ended up not doing that. We actually decided to take a moment and try to figure out what exactly we wanted to do. We're trying to sort through a paperwork issue on one of the cars, and then we got a lead on a potential damaged car that is really just for parts that could help us repair the fire car and make the fire car like a whole car instead of cutting it apart. So we were just kind of looking at all options because we want to do whatever makes the most sense and whatever is cost effective, because this is going to be a fortune anyway. But we wanted to just kind of give you a quick rundown about what's going on, that we haven't given up on the project. We literally have just been trying to sort everything out, plus personal stuff with family and kids and all of that. Other than that, what we're doing today is we're going to be tearing apart the fire car engine in some capacity and trying to dig through all the melted metal and disgustingness that will be today. So, without further ado, let's get cracking.
Get to it. So right now we're vacuuming the whole subframe and the engine so we can start taking it apart. And we have a bunch of like melted pieces of aluminum, and we're gonna put it in a bin. I think we're gonna do something cool about it, and I guess maybe in a couple hours from now it should be all clean and separate. We're not gonna take it apart like the NSX engine. We're just gonna try to clear all the melted parts on top and see what we can reuse later.
As we began disassembling the powertrain, we discovered melted magnesium from the valve covers that made its way into the front heads. It reached the camshafts as well as the intake valves, making this disassembly a bit more interesting.
Every day is a magical state between dreaming and being awake.
Here's a close-up of the melted magnesium on the front head.
And being awake.
That's what I have to do with guys every day, every weekend. All right, so we have taken apart the engine, well, some parts like the valve covers, intake manifolds, the alternator, camshafts, and what we're gonna do is remove the heads to see how bad the cylinders are, and clear this area in the front, remove the pulleys, and the last part is gonna be remove the block from the subframe. So yeah.
In this part of the video, you will see Jay and I removing the front and rear exhaust manifolds, engine pulleys, head studs, and both front and rear heads. Interestingly enough, we also stumbled upon water in cylinder number 5, likely a result of the firefighters' efforts to extinguish the fire. After hours of vacuuming, we were close enough to have a semi-clean powertrain that we can start putting in bins.
Bang, 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 bang. It's smooth too.
You know, I was worried it would get hung up on like a thrust.
I mean, it was water seated in one.
Yeah, this one was the worst one. But I mean, a hone, new rings, new bearings and shit.
Yeah,
This thing's right as rain, man. So we can put this back in the car if we wanted. I mean, dude, feel how smooth it is. Here, you know, this is clean.
okay.
Just go forward on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's too. Jeez, man.
I broke it.
Why?
At this point, we were getting ready to use the cherry picker so we can remove the subframe and rear suspension components, as well as separating the transmission from the block. Here's a pile of souvenirs from the fire inside of the engine.
Anytime.
Anytime.
Over here. Man.
All right, we're almost done removing the engine from the subframe. We are going to remove the rear section, like control arms, calipers, brackets, and we're going to put this bracket back on top of the engine, and then we're going to use the cherry picker, which is back there, and we're going to remove the engine from the subframe and, you know, start removing things that we're not going to use, like the AC condenser. The starter doesn't work, the alternator doesn't work, so we're going to clear as much as possible, and so we can have a usable block for the project. We don't know if we're going to use this with the LOCHNSX or we're going to reuse the LOCHNSX engine, but we'll figure it out. So far, everything looks pretty good. There was some water in cylinder number 5. The transmission seems to be in a pretty decent condition, so we're going to keep working on it and see what we find.
Before we could remove the subframe from the powertrain, we had to remove the lower control arms, axles, as well as the front and rear engine mounts, so we can finally free up the powertrain from the subframe.
I bet you that's from, I mean, that's full of water. I bet you that's from, oh God. Here comes the oil.
At this point, the last thing we had to do was remove the transmission from the block. A comparison from the LOCHNSX powertrain, the transmission here took a couple of pulls and it was off the block. The subframe was already removed and we were ready to start labeling the last parts from this engine. Like I said before, the front head suffered some damage from the fire since the magnesium melted inside of the head. Besides that, we were looking pretty good to keep working on the project.
And with that, we wrap up the video today. You know, for the most part, it was good. Most of the parts that we actually were looking for to reuse, they're in good shape. Like I said, we're going to send the front head to one of our friends to check it out and make sure that, you know, we can it's safe to reuse. And then if it's so, then we're going to put that baby back together and reuse it with the rear car. I mean, the block for the fire car, sorry, the block from the river car, and all the internals are in good shape, and they're right there on our shelf. So that's gonna be our main goal: reuse the river car power plant back with the river car. And if we cannot reuse that, then we're gonna use that. Next, we're gonna bring Jay's project car, which went to the back burner since we got the river car. So we're gonna change things a bit. We're gonna be working on the fire car, river car project, but in parallel, we're gonna be working on Jay's car, so you can see something a little more fresh that is not as crazy looking burn or rusted or corroded. That's going to be a really cool project that we will be hoping to finish next year. It was supposed to be done this year, but you know, we stopped touching it since March when we got the river car. But yeah, things are looking good. We're still waiting on some news and some paperwork that we need to that we had to file so we can get a title for the river car. So, in the meantime, we're gonna be working on Jay's car, and we just hope to have good news on our river car paperwork, so we can start the restoration project, or well, continue. Because then, if not, then that's when we're gonna decide which way do we approach the build. But yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna be cool, and we're gonna keep you posted in the results for our titling. Peace.